directed at Jubilee, especially from the direction of the United Opposition, a lot of mistrust on the goings-on at Jubilee. I've seen one of the operatives is a person who abandoned the former deputy president. I'm talking about the former Nyeri Town MP, Ngunjiri Wambugu, now working with Fred Matiang'i in Jubilee. And there's a lot of mistrust. There's a lot of people from your side who have already given Fred Matiang'i that tag of a project. And is it indicative of what will happen next now that Jubilee is going to make some decisions tomorrow in as far as Jubilee, Fred Matiang'i, and the United Opposition?
Thank you so much. Very quickly, first of all, you have not seen anything yet. I want to assure you, Molim, by the time next year comes to an end, we are going to have members of the County Assembly on DCP. We are going to have members of Parliament on DCP, and most probably even senators on DCP. That one I can tell you that. We are going to do that. We have to do some warm-up for 2027.
Warm-up. You want to force some of them
number
to
two,
resign?
Wait a minute. I mean, we
That's a fact.
You are going to
show.
see members in Senate and members of the National Assembly on DCP ticket. Now, quickly, Eric, I want to, because it's important, please, I want to bring back your faith on opinion polls. If they are done properly, the sample data, the methodology, and everything right. Because it's a science. It's not a wish, it's not a feeling. It's a science if you do it properly. And I want to give an example. You give an example very quickly, Fred. In 2022, then President Ruto, the deputy then, had about 40%, if you remember. Then Raila was ahead with about 44%. Then there was 10% that refused to comment. Yeah, always be very keen. There was a 10% who never saw the need to say which side. Now, that is the side that came to William Ruto. So you cannot fault opinion poll. They said this one number, Raila is ahead. But there's a silent majority here who are saying, we are not going to give you our opinion, which is always, if you ask somebody, they can say no. The number was there. So they finally went to William Ruto. That's a fact there. So it's good to have faith. Opinion polls is a good, and please, members and Kenyans, you must trust so far. But then what you do, Fred, we normally have several. And then you compare. And that's why I'm here to say for the last 2 weeks, there has been comparisons. Now, Tifa has come. You have done your own, since the last 2 weeks. Other media houses have done. So you can be able to see where we are going to, and it doesn't change. Science doesn't change. So let me come to your question. I would say this. Fred, coalition building is not easy. It's not easy. And it's a journey. It's not a destination. Elections are not tomorrow. They are not actually next year. So we are moving together, and really, those things are there. Because everybody came with their own supporters, right? Their fans, there's a whole chain of people who are benefiting from that person. Then, of course, there's the issue of who gets there, who gets the candidature and all that of the flag of the official position. So, number one, there has to be that issue. That's normal. I mean, we are building a big house. It was not easy. Remember the issues that happened before 2002? There was a lot of, from the three of them, the Red Kibaki and Wamarwa and Giru, then it went to NAC, to then all the way to that. People are leaving Kanu, they are coming, Jostori, is it Nyachai, the flag bearer, that is normal and expected. And we are telling Kenyans, please don't hurry us so much. We are trying to plan this thing well. We don't want to go exposing everything. However, I would say this, when you see somebody who sleeps, talks, smells, and acts like an NIS operative coming around, nosing around you, you get worried. I mean, I'm just saying, if you find somebody who works, walks, talks, like an operative planted, you have every reason to be very worried. I'm just saying that very deliberately. Mm-hmm. We are civil people in DCP. We don't go putting everything in the public. But we know what happened. We know what we discovered about that man you are talking about. And we know why we cut him off from DCP, because we discovered who he was working for. So if we see the same person learning to somebody who is part of our coalition, the official opposition, we have every right to speak out and say, hey, guy, hey, there's a danger here coming. If we see somebody else going all over the media houses in the name of Jubilee, trying to talk something which is not in line with the spirit of official opposition, and the two men are the ones who are saying, behold the king. Mm-hmm. We have a right to say, hey, wait a minute. That is democracy. This is internal. And by the way, when we are talking about our official matters, the side of Broadway should keep off. It is our talks. It's us talking. It's the in-house. Okay. The other thing, which is very important, Fred, we are here to advise and we're here to talk. We are in this country. Our advice was this. It's good to say today. Our advice to Dr. Fred Matiang'i was for him to go back home. And I want to repeat, there's nothing wrong, Fred, with regional coalitions coming together to form government. There's nothing wrong.
Is that the demand here by the former deputy president? Because I can see
I'm
that is giving conditions on the formation of this coalition. Gachagwa's tough election terms that he says, and let me get it, there's a raft of demands. They include all these people. And he's even left the door open for Raila Odinga in case of anything. But according to Gachagua, any candidate must demonstrate genuine numbers, work through structured engagements with the DCP and allied parties, and commit to written agreements deposited with Mount Kenya stakeholders. Isn't this indicative of a lot of suspicion among the...
No. I like what my party leader is saying, because that is the truth. Kenyans are allergic to truth. And by the way, we have decided this time, Fred, we'll put everything on the table. Why do you think that Kenyans are not intelligent enough? We will work with them and tell them.
Do you agree, Dr. Mbae, that you're looking at Jubilee and Fred Matiang'i with a lot of suspicion?
Let me. This is a very important point I was going to say. We are not looking at suspicion. I just explained to you, we are brothers and sisters in the coalition, right? If we see our brother tending towards falling into a cliff, we are going to warn them. So I was saying this. Our idea, our advice to Matiang'i was this: go back home, go and mobilize the Nyamira, Kisii, and the 4 counties. Because the same, it is Nyanza, right? In Migori, Siaya, Kisumu, and Nyamira. Come with 2 or 3 governors, senators. Remember Jachai when he was in 4 people? He was very powerful, remember? Some of the members, he had only 10 MPs, but some of them ended up in cabinet because he was able to negotiate with only 10 MPs. So go come with that thing. Help us in Migori. Help the coalition in Kisumu, in Siaya. This is about 6 counties. Kalonzo has only 3. You have 6 you can work with. Come with MCAs and MPs. But don't be so happy when you are handed over something from the top. Politics, you start from the ground. You don't start from the top because you don't know. Those parties have their owners. And the people who told you to come and jump on them, you don't know who they are. And the people we saw surrounding you is very suspicious.
Don't you think that this suspicion is informed not just because they have genuine concerns about Matiang'i, but because there's a lot of rivalry between the newly formed DCP and parties